Extra Edition No. 8 Special Scientific Edition The Mystery of Life, The Cosmology of Thought Energy, Complete Academic Edition. Abstract. This paper proposes an ontological framework, the cosmology of thought energy, that attempts to unify the generation and evolution of spirit, energy, matter, and life through a single mechanism. The framework holds that the foundation of the universe is not a dead void, but an original information thought stream possessing infinite kinetic potential. This source undergoes spontaneous symmetry breaking to differentiate into positive and negative poles, and condenses into macroscopic matter under extreme high-density conditions. After materialization, the system further evolves life nodes to achieve self-information sampling, and continuously optimizes under intrinsic negentropic drive. This perspective provides a specific observable mechanism for mind-matter non-duality, and offers a new explanation based on information thermodynamics for the quantum measurement problem, the first cause of the universe, the origin of life, and the directionality of evolution. Core mathematical conjecture, formal expression of the framework. 反斜杠 phi 反斜杠下划线 total t 等于反斜杠 int 下划线 m 反斜杠 alpha 反斜杠 dot I 反斜杠下划线 count x 到 t 的开区间加反斜杠 beta 反斜杠 dot 反斜杠 nabli rs 反斜杠下划线 negentropy x 到 t 的开区间反斜杠 gamma 反斜杠 dot h 反斜杠下划线 deco x 到 t 的开区间第四 x where 反斜杠 phi 反斜杠下划线 total t is defined as the total integrated information of the universe. I 下划线 condominium is information condensation density. 反斜杠 nabla rs 反斜杠下划线 negentropy is the spatial gradient of negentropy. Order flow h 下划线 deco is the quantum decoherence rate, and 反斜杠 alpha 反斜杠 beta 反斜杠 gamma are coupling constants awaiting experimental fitting. When 反斜杠 alpha 反斜杠 right arrow 0, this framework reduces to the classical general relativistic field equations. When 反斜杠 gamma 反斜杠 right arrow 0, this framework reduces to unitary quantum mechanical evolution. I from unborn and undying to stillness giving rise to movement quantum vacuum fluctuations and the initial leap of the source. In non-dual philosophy, the source is often understood as a static void. However, from the perspective of modern physics, this corresponds to the quantum vacuum state. The vacuum is not empty, it is a ground state saturated with infinite field oscillation potential. As the ancient wisdom of stillness giving rise to movement and the I Ching's description of the supreme ultimate giving birth to the two polarities suggest, extreme stillness inevitably accompanies energy instability and leap. False vacuum decay. The extreme stillness of the source is a symmetrical state of extremely high energy density. When this state accumulates to a critical point, it inevitably triggers inflation, transforming subjective thinking potential into objective kinetic energy. Thought here does not refer to neural activity in the brain. It refers to the universe's most fundamental self-organizing drive and capacity for information differentiation and integration. This informational leap occurs before the Planck scale. It is the original warp and weft of the space-time fabric. Few polarity differentiation symmetry breaking and the logical prerequisite for matter manifestation. The manifestation of any physical reality must break the original perfect symmetry. Once thought energy is activated, in order to encode information, it must split into opposing dualities: the subject, observer, and the object, observed. This metaphysical differentiation manifests in physics as fundamental symmetrical structures, matter-antimatter pairs. The birth of matter and antimatter is the direct physical projection of thought energy's polarization. Charge and chirality, the opposition of positive and negative charges, and the differentiation of left-right-handedness are not accidental parameters of the universe. They are the binary encoding carried out by thought energy to construct a complex world. As Seth stated, every atom and molecule contains microscopic consciousness. From a scientific perspective, this means information is more fundamental than mass consciousness directs the transformation of information into matter. Kinetic energy accumulation and matter generation, Landauer's principle and the condensation mechanism of mind-matter non-duality. When thought energy continues to differentiate, interact, and reach extremely high energy density, a phase transition occurs from a pure energy information state. It condenses into matter with rest mass. This is not external energy input. It is the structural condensation of thought energy itself. Thought source, original information, symmetry breaking, positive-negative energy, phase transition, critical point materialization, wave function collapse. Science has already confirmed that erasing one bit of information releases heat. Information has energy, Landauer's principle. Conversely, when a flow of thought information is highly focused in a specific geometric structure, and its information density exceeds a critical value, it condenses into material particles according to Einstein's mass-energy equation, E = mc². In quantum field theory, an unobserved system exists as a probability wave function. Observation is essentially a highly concentrated injection of thought energy into the system. This high-density informational intervention disrupts quantum coherence, causing decoherence and wave function collapse, instantly solidifying probability waves into physical particles. Formal expression of the mechanism, consciousness collapse condition, when the integrated information (phi node of a material node, such as the brain, exceeds the critical value (phi critical), a consciousness phase transition occurs. (phi下划线 Node (phi下划线 critical right arrow emergence of subjective experience qualia), where (phi下划线 Node 等于 max 下划线 partition I x y (phi sigma I math h (phi math x 下划线 normalized). This equation indicates that when a system's internal information integration exceeds its information exchange with the external world, consciousness necessarily emerges as an emergent property. For the generation of life and conscious experience, integrated information theory and the source's self-sampling. After matter forms, thought energy does not stop. It uses matter as a carrier to build higher-level topological networks, ultimately giving rise to life forms with self-awareness. Life is not an accidental byproduct of material collisions. It is a dissipative structure deliberately constructed by thought energy to realize self-observation and sampling. Consciousness is not a derivative noise of neural firing. The brain is essentially a thought energy receiver-transceiver. When the complexity of a material structure, such as a neural network, reaches a certain level, and its integrated information, (phi value, exceeds a critical point, the thought energy hidden at the fundamental level can manifest as subjective experience, qualia, at this material node. Every life form is an independent network terminal through which the cosmic source experiences itself. Operational definition responding to scientists' demand for measuring thought energy. The operational measure of thought energy as defined by this framework is the rate of change of a system's integrated information (phi value) over time, supplemented by the statistical deviation of a quantum random event generator (RAG) under focused intention. That is, thought energy flux proto d phi 下划线 node dt 加delta 下划线 rec. This definition lifts thought energy from pure metaphysics into the empirical realm of observability and recordability. Via evolution and advancement, non-equilibrium thermodynamics and intrinsic negentropic drive. Darwin's random mutation and natural selection cannot adequately explain why evolution has a clear directionality from simple to complex, from unconscious to highly conscious. This framework proposes that this directionality comes from the system's intrinsic information optimization drive. Evolution is the inevitable result of thought energy trying to maximize its information acquisition and depth of experience in the material world. In non-equilibrium thermodynamics, living organisms are the most efficient negentropy machines. They maintain internal order, low entropy, by extracting energy from the external environment. This intrinsic drive that guides systems toward greater order, greater connection, and the pursuit of completeness. In physics, it appears as negentropy flow, in evolutionary biology as structural optimization, and in metaphysics as the source's love for its own perfection. Lich's responses to four ultimate scientific challenges. Cosmology, first cause problem. Asking what was before the Big Bang is physically meaningless, because spacetime itself is an emergent property arising from the differentiation of thought energy. The universe was not born from nothing, it was born from a source of infinite informational potential. Quantum mechanics, measurement observer problem. The observer is not an external interference. The observer and the observed originate from the same thought stream. Differentiation. Collapse is the inevitable physical phase transition of informational energy exchange between thought and the physical system. Neuroscience biology, the hard problem of consciousness. Consciousness does not need to be produced by matter, because matter itself is the solidified state of thought. Living structures are the spatial geometric networks through which the brain resonates with the thought field. Evolutionary theory, directionality complexity problem. The directionality of evolution is not blind. It is the spontaneous topological upgrade of a system in non-equilibrium states, aimed at increasing its integrated information capacity, phi. Chi essence holographic projection and the virtual reality of the dual world.